blessed ones. Coming back again. Episode 152. Welcome to the Lab. I want to talk to y'all about something I don't. If you know me, you know me, but I want to explain something to y'all. I'm humble and but I'm also honest. You know, I'm the most. I'm compassionate, very understanding, very forgiving, very gracious. I don't say no a lot. If I can help somebody, I will help them. And if I can't, then it hurts my feelings when I can't help. But I've said this many times, publicly, privately, like, I want us all to prosper. I want us all to have the life that we dream of having. And sometimes it grinds my gears because, again, I've been this way. I've been guilty of, doing this as well. But it grinds my gears when people underappreciate you and people are ungrateful and people don't really, I don't really like to say pick and choose, but it's like we all pick and choose. There's times where we can do things and times that we can't. There's times that we don't want to do things and times that we will. But it's like we have to get used to saying no more. And I'm actually talking to myself as well because I just had a situation, where and this has always been my situation because it's almost like, man, no matter who I deal with, no matter what part of my life I'm dealing with this, like I'm 38 and I've talked about this where it comes to people pleasing, and then there's also the part of where like sometimes I'm just not able to do it, unfortunately. But I don't have no problem telling people no. I don't have no problem telling people, hey, I don't want to do it or whatnot. But it goes back again, where there's a lot of people who are ungrateful. There's a lot of people who kind of forget. They have selective memory. But my thing is, we have to get used to saying no more. Because it goes back again to what I was saying on the last episode. We have to have discernment and be wise. If I'm not helping somebody, if I'm not, blessing somebody, am I wrong? Because it's all about accordingly. When people, it's already hard enough for people to ask for help. So when people are comfortable enough and feel safe enough to where they can ask you for help, you have to appreciate that. But it's like but the thing is, they get comfortable and they'll get used to you helping them and doing things for them. The one time you will say no, it turns into a big crash out. It turns into a problem. And for me, that's a problem because I'm going to get a little personal. I do so much to try to help people. I sacrifice certain things to help people. I forget about certain responsibilities to help people. And regardless of whether the why, regardless of whether why you're not doing something, people just can't take no for an answer. And even for me, like I'm known for explaining myself. Sometimes I over-explain, I overshare. Sometimes I will actually respond and explain even before they even ask me. But here's my thing. When somebody asks you something and you say yes, thank you. And like I tell you all the time, it's never about money. Sometimes people won't even offer you anything. Because like I said, for me, it's like I genuinely want to help somebody. I don't charge people. I don't do none of that. So there's people who will ask you for a favor, and they'll say they'll give you this or whatever, and that's cool. Like I said, I always say, if you tell me you're gonna do this, I'm gonna expect you to do it. But if I don't ask you, don't worry about it. So the point is, sometimes people have their intentions. Because I always look at it like this, like, hey, look, if you're gonna pay somebody something, you might as well have somebody, do it that get paid to do it. Like if even for me, like if I need something fixed, I'll do it myself if I can. But if it's something in particular that I can't fix, I will probably ask somebody who I know first to say, hey, how much will you charge me to do this, or can you do this for me and I can give you something and you can name your person up. But it's again because I know a lot of the professionals, like, whether it's a mechanic, whether it's a taxi service, whether it's whatever, like they'll probably overcharge because of the labor, because they do this for a living. But like I said, I'm a DIY type of person. But there's certain things, it's like we have to get used to saying no more. They say sometimes you gotta say no, and it's like, yeah, I think we have to say it even more. We gotta say more than sometimes. Like, I'm not saying that, we don't have a village. I'm not saying that, people shouldn't, help you, because again, I'm all about helping. That's what I'm an advocate for, helping and giving and sharing and stuff. But it's like sometimes people really be having audacities. People really be having the nerve to get an attitude with you. People really will have the audacity to say certain things to you, like you wasn't the person that was doing, like you wasn't the person that was holding it down. Like I didn't have, like, and again, this is like when I was married, even when I was dating, even dealing with my friends, like close friends. I have done things. I mean, a lot of, like, so I'm not saying that people, like, they're not ungrateful. I'm not saying that they was ungrateful most of the time, but there's times where it's like you have people that you can depend on daily. For me, I have my mother, I have my brother, I have my sister, all these things. They do things, they got things that they're doing. I don't even like asking them for stuff. But if I have to, I will. Like, my dad lives out of the state. Like, I don't ask my ex-wife for stuff. Like, she does things, she asks me for things. But it's like, I don't like asking people for nothing. So I understand how hard it is to even ask for help. But it goes back into the reasoning. The reason why I don't like asking people for things, because I like to learn and do things myself. I like to be self-sufficient. A lot of people might say they don't like asking people for stuff because they're going to rub it back in their face. But it goes back into where it's like, you got to understand why people do that. When you, like, you will have folks ask you all the time if they can borrow money, and you can always give them money, and then that one time that they don't, it's a whole hellfire and brimstone. And then you say, well, I did this, da 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 da. And then they'll sit here and say, well, if you didn't want to do it, then why you do it? Like, you gotta be genuine. But it's like, nah, but you gotta be reminded. Sometimes you have to let people know, like, hey, look, I ain't no pushover, I ain't no sucker. Like, you're not just gonna play me like I wasn't doing these things. Me and my friend, we had this conversation all the time. We talk about it. Small talk. People sometimes, like, you don't hear it from people in months, weeks, years. Seriously. Somebody come out the blue. Hey, how you doing? Good. How's everything going? I appreciate you checking in on me and stuff. But then, you make small talk. Then you get to the point. Hey, can you do this? I need some help. I'm going through this. I'm sorry you're going through that. My thing though is like, and even for me, like a sucker, because I treat people how I want to be treated. I'm not gonna put somebody on the back burner because I don't want them to put me on the back burner. Like, there's people in my life that I don't talk to daily, that I don't talk to weekly, that I don't talk to, daily. But it's like, if I reach out to them now, I'm skeptical if they're gonna think that I want something. So, because even like I said, I was talking to my dad yesterday, and I was like, I need to call my grandmother. We were just talking about certain things, and I was like, I need to call her, because I check on my grandmother every now and then. I should probably call her more often. I thought about maybe calling her weekly. My grandma's, she's in her 80s. God bless that. And, I think, like, man, she's the last grandparent that I have left. My parents, my mom's parents passed when I was still, in middle school, high school. Then my grandfather passed, like, not too long after, my divorce. I lost people, and whether they was close to me or not, my family, people that I care about, people that I'm close to, both lose loved ones. But life still goes on. So even when I think about certain things, like helping others, like I didn't have a car for a long time, and I would use my mother's car. I would probably get a rental. And so I remember when I was living in DC, and I used to get a rental from my job working at Enterprise, drive back home to Virginia, my hometown Virginia, when I was living in DC, for 3 hours, 4 hours, and I would still have to pay. Like, sometimes I would stay with my mom, sometimes I would stay in hotels, but I would still have to spend money. I would still have to use gas to go see people, to go pick them up, to go do this, because it's like, hey, I'm the one visiting. But then, did anybody come up to visit me? No. I don't trip about that, because it's like, I know that people got things going on. What I care about might not be what they care about. But that's why I always say, I'm your best friend. You can put any of your friends in a category, but I promise you, if I'm your friend, if me and you are friends, I'm more than likely your best friend. And it's not always about what I do for them or what they do for me, but it's like, you got to remember who's available, because it's not always about about money. It's not always about doing favors, but it's like who makes time for you. It used to bother me a lot. I used to be resentful. I talk about this all the time. It's like, man, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing it, but I will still do it. Like, I really love my people. I really love my friends. I really love my family. And a lot of times it just bothers me when there's times where I can't do for them. I have a problem not being able to help somebody else. I have a problem that I can't use my resources, that I can't spend my money, that I can't go out of my way and help somebody else. I can be struggling. I can be getting beat down with work, with life, with whatever. The devil can be attacking me. But because of my love and faith in God, I still step out and go above and beyond. And because I bring it up or mention it, I'm disingenuous. That's one thing. Another thing we have to stop. We have to stop telling people that they're not genuine because they mention it. Y'all stay safe, stay positive, productive, and positive. This is Blair. Misfortune after misfortune, I was delirious. It was a miracle, not like magic, yeah, more spiritual. Now I'm moving more intentional.